and using that power. Splendid tee shot.
Day was very enjoyable. Came up for 18 holes yesterday just to have a look at the course. Great weather today, course excellent, really enjoyed it. Rich did most things. Added a couple of the par threes. Rich had a very good run in the middle of the round. He was 6 under gross through 5 holes, so that boosted the points no end.
You sure would. 6 under par through 5 holes. Are you watching James Vose? So Marchant's tee shot with a fairway wood. Just what he was trying to do, put it in play. He's done that. Fairway found. And now Richard Wheat with the driver, taking no prisoners. Now cutting away to the right-hand side. Just steady. Don't bounce too hard. Oh, good effort from the 2 handicapper. So all 4 tee shots smack down this first, the par 5. You would think there'd be birdie chances coming. Jason Powell, he gets a shot here, remember, and the last hole.
Great shot.
Shouts of great shot. Trying to use that stroke in a sensible way, and that needs to sit big time. Oh, and that's a stroke of luck. Hits the 150-yard marker and bounces back. A lot of the Trilby 2s staying on to watch the final. Marchant second. Crosses the hazard and keeps it on the fairway. Perfect. Well, Carl, the power, just laying up with a short iron. Just over 460 yards this, so it's a generous par 5. And he playing the 3-shot strategy. Seems satisfied. Richard Wheat. Well, this is a longer club. I think he might be having a cut at the green here. Oh, and he is. He's carried the hazard and he's found the lawn. That's a tremendous second shot. Eagle putt coming. And that's how he was 6 under for 5 holes. Marchant must be thrilled with his partner's efforts. And doing some damage of his own. Haven't they played this hole well? Jason with a shot, remember, his third. That's all right. There's no harm done. Carl, the par 5 slayer. Just a little sandwich in here. And if it bounces a little bit more, it would have been stiff. Would have looked awfully good to him when he hit that one. Jason's 4th. Net 3, remember. This is technically for an eagle on the card. Sit. Oh, it looked good. Line-wise, strength-wise, it's a little overdone. Eagle putt for Richard Wheat, right across the green at the first. Flag out. Sit. Work to be done for Ricardo. Marchant for the birdie. Played the hole a completely different way, and you know what? One more roll, that's all it would have taken. So a par for Marchant. Let's partner in with a short one for a birdie. Jason for a 5 net 4. I'm not sure that's going to be a net anything. That's a shocker. Carl's birdie attempt. And he's not made 4, so he has to settle for a par. And the Powell team level par after the first playoff hole, so a 6 net 5 for his brother. And the birdie putt for Richard Wheat. He misses. Oh, and he'll feel like taking his head off and just smashing it to pieces, because after 2 shots like that, you walk off with a 3-putt 5. That hurts. Now they have to walk and make their way to the 18th.
Same order off the tee. Powell brothers. First up, Jason Powell.
Jason with an iron. Not trusting his woods, but with a stroke. Oh, maybe should have hit a wood. That's just past the ladies' tees, that one. That's not good. Carl Powell. And that's got significantly more hang time on it. And back onto the fairway. What a tee shot. Marchant, driver, gambling. Shouting soft, heading towards trouble perhaps. It is. Oh, and it's avoided the hazard. It's all right. It's okay. Must be that lucky Trilby's gone. Richard Wheat, no driver for Richard, just a 3-wood. Good swing. And bounding down the fairway. That has gone miles, missing the water. That must be in wonderful shape, that. On in 2 easily, lengthwise. Jason laying up. In a unique fashion, has to be said. Has spent most of his life on the floor, that one. Jason coming undone in the second playoff hole. But this is where the nerves kick in, because this is where the title's within your grasp. His third shot. Is still wide of the mark. It's over there, way to the right. So he's played 3, net 2. So all is not lost. Over to you, bruv. Oh, he's had a bit of a go at this one. Come on, up you come. Oh, straight at it. Nearly an albatross if that had found its way into the bottom of the cup. There in 2, very birdieable for Carl the Power. Marchant second. Turning it round the corner. A little bit of draw spin on this. And this is expertly played. But not quite found the putting surface. Monster tee shot for Richard Wheat. After such a drive, it's only an average second. So all to play for. Everybody's still in this, including Jason. His 4th. But with a stroke, it's his 3rd. Sit down. That left for a net birdie. Pursed lips. White lips. Nerves. Marchant. Checking the backswing out. Out of the bunker. Only just out. So a lot of gurning and grimacing going on here for these players. Now the birdie attempt for Marchant. Chipping. And he's just popped it onto the green, letting it run out. Hasn't he played that well? Really well. Somehow he nearly squeezed a birdie out of the hole. Carl could, because he's here in 2 at the par 5. Little back foot chip and run. This is all very straightforward for Carl Powell. And he tries to run away from the right. Not really as close as he would have liked. Richard 3-putted the previous green. Can he make amends here? Little back and through. Trying to use the contours and get the right speed. That's the most important thing. I think speed's pretty good. Shaking his head. Not satisfied. There's not much to separate these teams. Jason for a 5 net 4. This could be big potatoes if it goes in. Oh, it hasn't gone in. Oh, the dreaded marker. You feel the marker in your fingers, you have to use it again. Par putt for Marchant. After an excellent chip shot from the front. Right to left curler. Heartbreak 6. That's not what he wanted. Carl for the birdie then. Chip to here from the back of the green. Oh, and it's a massive putt. An opportunity. It's gone by. So the Powells are level after the second playoff hole. This must go in. It's a birdie putt for Richard Wheat. Partner's made 6. And he makes it. So they're all tied up. They can't be separated, which means to find out the winner of the Trilby Tours, we've got to go one more time at least. So we're going to the 14th, the par 3. This seems to separate all the teams. It has done all day long. And first up, Marchant with a little fairway wood. Water on the right. Trouble at the back. Great shot. That's a great shot.
Next to the tee, Mr. Richard Wheat.
Richard next to go. Last par 3 he played in the semi-final. He got it completely wrong. 2 clubs too many. Now has he learnt the story here? Second time around. Oh no, he hasn't. That is in the hazard. Can you believe it? What a place to go. That's not number 1 on your hit list. Jason Powell. Water on the right. Don't go right. Is it hooking? It's not hooking. That's in the water. Jason, what have you done? There's a little bit of crumble going on here. Powell. Carl. Well, he's found a swing. He's found a swing here. Oh, that's very well done. But the wind, it's gusting. It's difficult. That's 1 on the green out of 4. 2 players are in the hazard. So first to go from the drop zone, Jason Powell. Up into the sky, get down, it's long. So it spins on the back fringe. They're in 3. Richard Wheat playing his third after dropping out the hazard. He's got a shot through the trees using the downslope there, and that's a wonderful pitch. How good a shot was that? But he's played 3, remember. Still anybody's. Jason Powell's 4th from the back edge. It does come left to right at the end. It does come left to right. Oh, it's so unlucky. 4 shots played. So he's going to make a double. Marchant now seeing an opportunity. So he's played 2. They could walk off with a 1 over par 7 between them. Carl Powell, long birdie putt. Just had to hit it. Buckle of the knees, look at the stars, and it's going to be a par 3 for Carl. But his brother's played 4 already, so the best they can do is +2. They need help. Maybe from Richard Wheat. His 4th shot, the bogey putt, crucial. Short backswing, pushes it through. It's a double bogey 5. Well, it's going to come down to the smallest of margins. Marchant's par putt. Oh, he's holed it. Just caught the right edge and dropped. And now it's the weight. Can Jason Powell hole his 5th shot and keep this going? Back and through, and he's pushed it. Oh! It must go in. It will go in. It doesn't, you know. You've got 10 seconds when it's hanging on the edge, and can you believe it? It's Marchant and Wheat that do the business. They win the Trilby 2s. The water playing a huge part in the final playoff hole. But delight for Wheat and Marchant, despair for the Powells.
It hasn't sunk in yet.
Yeah.
It's a bit... What's just happened?
Still can't believe it. Yeah, we were just discussing up there. Can't believe it's just happened.
Turn up first time. Just unbelievable.
Must be those Vos genes.
Yeah, it's the Vos genes. Yes, that's what happens.
Well done, boys, and well done to Lee, the panellist sharp. Lee's never won anything on the Trilby Tour, so we thought we'd throw him a shot of the day crumb for this birdie setter-upper on the 5th. Looking sharp, Mr. Sharp. Now, twice the players, twice as many disasters in Rogues Gallery.
And the 7th at the notch demands a tricky drive over water to make the green, and this is Brooke Watson, showing that going high isn't necessarily the answer. Mark Relfs tackles the hole going straight and low, and he fails as well.
While Nick Hopkin attempts to avoid getting wet by bouncing his ball from bank to bank, but the result is exactly the same.
But it takes Christopher Oak to properly demonstrate how to beat a pond on the 5th. You just get your ball to cross the water by taking the bridge. Simple when you know how, and you're just a wee bit jammy.
George Stoddart on the 7th has a relatively simple pitch to the green for a man of his undoubted ability, but decides he wants to show us his bunker skills. And maybe his bunkering isn't up to much either, but he's great at picking up. Eventually. He could look for help from his playing partner George Sheriff, but poor old George is having his own problems.
Scott Cox here on the 17th, going high and left and right into the pond.
And our cameraman almost missed Paul Mackay doing exactly the same thing, but don't you worry. On Rogues Gallery, we get everyone, eventually.
Things are looking rough on the 9th for Trilby namesake William Hunt. They're obviously going to stay that way as well. What's this? A rumpus on the first tee? It can only mean that a drive on the 18th has landed amongst the crowd around the clubhouse, and whoever it belongs to is going to struggle to play this ball from where it lies. Oh, that'll be a delicate chip. We've seen plenty of balls go into the lake by the 14th, but here Ray Davis attempts a kinky bypass and tries to land on the 18th, but to no avail.
Steve Woods, however, attempts an ingenious method to avoid water, trying to rebound off the island drop zone.
Dave Mitchell demonstrates how to escape this bunker in the 12th and land safely in the water on the other side of the green.
Who'd be a cameraman this week comes courtesy of Derek Crumbler Freeman's approach to the 18th. It goes hard right and almost takes out cameraman Matt, who's blithely filming tee shots on the 14th. Matt quite naturally, wisely decides that maybe it's time to take his camera home.
Yeah, and we can hardly leave the knots without the traditional rogue's mention of club owner Alan Hardy.
Well, it's his club, and if he wants to play from the plastic chairs, there's no one going to stop him.
And while we wait to see if Nick Hopkins put off his closing putt by the passing wildlife, we'll remind you that
The final programme this year is a Rogues Gallery special that you can enjoy next week.
back on the green, yes, they did just enough to put him off. Here's William.
The twos format starts out as a friendly little down. On that first, plenty of banter, plenty of fun. We know what they're going to get into later in the day. Some guys come here as friends, leave us not so friendly anymore because one guy really wants to get into it, the other guy lets him down. We've seen two guys come last year that never met each other, were paired up, became champions, have formed a fantastic relationship. The Trilby Tour pairs is about two guys coming and playing together as a team, working as a team, and those guys can win it. The two guys that won today, what a team they made.
Don't forget to have a look at www.williamhunttrilbytour.com to discover how you can become embroiled in the trials and triumphs of the Trilby Tour in 2015. We'll see you next week for the Rogues Gallery Special.
Mate of mine, Steve Brown, and he's still got the 2012 Trilby Tour final in his bedroom on Sky Plus, and his wife tells me that I'm on in their bedroom more times than he is.
William Hunt Savile Row sponsors the Trilby Tour, the perfect gentleman's playground.